Can we start? Well, good evening, everyone. Hope all are safe and well. Let me ask this first straight. How many of you is aware of what is after engineering? And after that, the immense possibilities that is lied ahead of us, particularly in the realm of research, is mostly unknown to most of us. We won't be that person any longer. That's why we are all here today, right? IEEE SB MACE, collaboration with IEEE students and IEEE IAS MACE brings you as a part of Student Professional Awareness Activities Month, SPAAM 2021, a second talk session on research opportunities. Allow me to introduce our honorable speaker, Mr. Akshat Kumar, a research intern at prestigious Massachusetts Institute of Technology. He is an undergraduate research and teaching assistant at University of Illinois, Chicago. He mentors students through TutorMe and Lockdown Learning, a nonprofit that he co-founded. He has a record of academic excellence with multiple honors to show for it. He has been a part of sundry research projects revolving around data structures and mathematics. That's not a full stop. There's a lot more to say about this wonderful man we have today. We are very pleased to have you here, sir. We welcome you, sir. Well, no more further delays. Let's get started the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. And I mean, first of all, I would like to thank the IEEE MACE student branch, especially Ms. Akina George, for considering me as one of the speakers for this event. And I mean, when I was first contacted, I remember I was being referred to as sir, and that definitely made me feel a little older. However, for my introduction, my name is Akshat Kumar, and I'm just a 21-year-old student, like most here, I guess, pursuing his undergraduate degree from the University of Illinois at Chicago. I'm currently majoring in computer engineering, which comes under the electrical engineering and computer science department, with a minor in mathematics. All right, just so that like before I begin the main talk, just want to confirm if I was audible to everyone.
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay, perfect. All right, so uh, uh, I won't like keep it too long because it's 9 a.m. over here. I'm currently in Chicago and I have a class in a few hours. So a little about my background, which I will say, I mean, I will cover while telling you all about how I landed the research internship at MIT during my undergraduate and being an international student in US. See, first of all, being an international student in US is really hard. I mean, not only financially, because not only you don't get any financial aids per se, but even if you apply to companies or research programs or internships, these companies and organizations, they prefer US citizens. So you have to like stand out in front of US citizens. So that's a little hard. So getting into MIT was definitely hard, but I think uh, it mainly depends on how it all begins. And let me start with my story. So the story begins when I was in 11th grade, and I mean I was preparing for the engineering exams in India. I did my high school in India, so I was preparing for the IIT JEE exams and you know, exams for BITS, Pilani and stuff. So when I was in 11th grade, at first I read a news about some research on mathematics being going on at a university, and that university was ranked one all over the world. And of course, it was the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in Boston, Cambridge. Um, and I mean, when I first heard about it, I was like, I have always been intrigued by mathematics. So I just wanted to know like what kind of work is being going on there. And when I got to know that, I was really excited to just work with those professors who are conducting that research. I started researching about the university at that time. And I mean, I didn't know what was the process to apply, and you know what all was needed in the application, when can you apply and stuff like that. So I just Googled everything, watched lots of YouTube videos of, you know, students who are already studying in US. especially at MIT. But that's where I got stuck because when I looked at the data in the last 7 years, at that time in 2018, in the last 7 years, only 3 students had gotten accepted at MIT from India, specifically for bachelors. So I knew that it was really hard. Also, that you need really solid experiences, probably like a national achievement or something, to get into MIT as an undergraduate. So I was like, I can't really focus on just this plan, because obviously I thought that I'm going to get rejected, and I did get rejected. I did apply to MIT for undergraduate and I got rejected. But my goal was not just I was not going forward just with a plan A. So what I did was I focused on a plan B, which was getting this research internship at MIT. I knew this was equally hard, but I like, if I apply for this research internship, I will be applying it during my second or third year. And if I do my bachelor's, like my second, third year in US, then I will have a stronger chance in getting into this internship. So what I did was I looked at all the universities which were undergrad, like which focused on undergraduate research, because universities like top universities like Harvard, Stanford, MIT, UC Berkeley, these universities focus a lot on your research background. Even though you are an undergraduate, they still want to know if you have a strong research background or not. And that's why I'm like talking about this story, because research is really important. Anyways, so I applied to a research oriented university, which was like where I'm studying right now, University of Illinois at Chicago. And this university helped me a lot into getting into MIT for this research internship. I got connected with only those professors who were MIT, who got a degree from MIT and are teaching at my university. Because I thought that if I worked under them, like as a research assistant, as a teaching assistant, as a tutor, for their students in their class, then if I get a recommendation letter from them, then it's hard for MIT to reject that, because it's their own, alumni. So I focused on that. I got into lots of undergraduate research, undergraduate teaching assistantship, and tutorship and everything. And I mean, finally, I was able to get like 3 recommendation letters from my university, and two from my university professors and one from my internship. And luckily, all of them were MIT alumni. So I think that was a really strong point which got me into MIT. And it was talking a little about how it was over there. It was, I mean, if I would have to put it in one word, I would say it was unreal. Like being at MIT, looking at all the top professors, working with them, conducting research in like world-class laboratories, it was definitely unreal. However, the main idea which I'm trying to drive home over here is that one should always have something to move towards. I mean, I personally believe that in life, instead of focusing on moving forwards, everyone should focus on moving towards. If you're dedicated enough towards something, you're always going to be doing things that ultimately help you land that something in your life. So I mean, it is all about setting a big goal for yourself, then dividing that big goal into smaller tasks. So let me just like, if you can use the chat option, you can just tell me like, what is the smallest thing which you can do when you wake up in the morning? Like, how small can you divide your main goal? Let's say my main goal was to get this research internship at MIT. So what is like the smallest goal to which I can divide my main goal to? You guys can use the chat option if it's available, and just tell me like what you guys think is the smallest thing which you can do when you wake up in the morning. Let's see. Yeah, interesting. Smile, that's good too. Okay, I mean, I won't take too long on this, but yeah, so the first one was correct. I mean, it's not like something is correct or something is wrong about it, but I personally feel that, I mean, for me, I would say it would be making my bed in the morning. because I mean, when I was in high school, I used to wonder like why my parents always ask me to make my bed in the morning, and why is it so important? Why do they keep forcing it? And like once I started doing it, I used to feel good, but why was I feeling good? So well, after a lot of brief overthinking and Google searching, I realized um, that like making your bed in the morning plays a, a really important role in you achieving your final big goal. Let's look at it this way. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you like a small sense of pride. It will encourage you to do another task and then another and another. And by the end of the day, this one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. I mean, making your bed will also reinforce the fact that little things in life matter, and like if you can't do the little things right, you will never be able to do the big things right. And let's say if by chance you have a miserable day, I mean, after you made your bed and you had a miserable day, you will come home to a bed that is made and that you made, and I feel that that will encourage you that tomorrow will be better. And that's the main reason why I focused always on making my bed. And of course I woke up like a few hours ago and I made my bed this morning as well. Anyways, so when I came to US, I was completely alone, like no friends, no family members here. And the thing is that I knew where I was coming from, so it's like knowing your grassroots, and I knew where I had to go. So that's exactly what I did. When since I knew where I had to go, I just divided all like my main task into smaller tasks, smallest being making my bed in the morning. And then further during the day, it's like contacting professors or going to their office hours, just talking to them, talking about their research interests, sharing my research interests with them. Or even if I don't have any research interests, then just telling him like why I like, for example, computer science, why I like electrical engineering, why I like to build something and see it work and make impact on the society, things like that. And I mean, when you are clear in your mind about your goals in life, then honestly probably around 50%, maybe 60% of the work is already done, and the remaining 40 to 50% is about working hard towards that goal. And in addition to that, people, mainly students who do not achieve their smaller goals, or let's say one of their big goals, are they just start blaming the circumstances and their luck. But I personally believe that luck favors only those who are prepared. I mean, who has always been prepared. And I would say that that applies to I think everyone, because I personally faced it. I applied to this MIT internship in my sophomore year, which is sophomore year in US is the second year, and I applied um, to this internship in my second year, and I got rejected. And I was a little bit sad about it, of course, because this has always been my dream internship ever since when I was in 11th grade. And getting rejected from MIT for this internship, I was like, maybe I'm just like not, I'm not like capable enough to get into such a prestigious internship program. But just for some reason, I was like, let's just apply next year again. And I gained, instead of like looking down upon it or undermining myself, I started gaining more research experiences, started talking to more professors, and started building a strong application. And I applied in by the end of my third year, and I got in. So I just want to say that know where you want to go. And if you don't know that now, that's fine too. Just keep exploring and stay curious about things around you. So talking about curiosity, um it's a fun word, it's a nice word, but um so let's relate curiosity with undergraduate research or like research opportunities you all have around you. So I'm definitely going to give some tips as well to get into to get more research experiences before you get your bachelor's degree. So I believe there would be several research internship programs like the one at MIT. I mean, these programs in several institutions in India, which like focus on matching a student with the faculty, and then the student conducting research under that faculty. I'm not too sure about that, but I've seen my friends in India get research experiences from professors from IITs and even Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, which is like ranked one of the best universities in India. So if they are like hard to find, what you can do is like start looking for the student. I would say like LinkedIn is your best resource, and your peer group is your best resource. Just start looking around people who are looking around for people who are already involved in such research internships or research programs, or how are they contacting different professors and stuff like that. So what you can do is first pinpoint your area of interest. For example, if you are a computer science or electrical engineering major, then what interests you in that field? That's like, to be more specific, what are the different branches of those fields, and which ones like catch your interest? Is it related to med tech, artificial intelligence, data science, etc.? Like figure that part out. And once you find the pros and cons of that branch and like why that branch interests you, you will have a better idea if this is if this is for you or if this is not for you. Also, like the process of elimination plays an important role. It played an important role for me because instead of looking at what I wanted, I started looking at what I didn't want. And I started like just making notes of, why is this not for me? That helped me figure out where I want to be right now. So after that, look at your background experiences. Like even from your high school, have you had any experience related to that branch you focused on, like in any way? For example, I've always been interested in the field of human computer interaction engineering. And this is basically, this part is like a thin line between computer science, like complete software, and electrical engineering, which is complete hardware. So I obviously like didn't know that this branch existed until I applied for this MIT internship and had to be specific about my interests in my application essays. So when I looked at my previous experiences from high school, literally, they were somewhere closely or loosely related or inclined towards the human computer interaction engineering. And I realized maybe most of the students, or maybe not most, but definitely few of the students who are interested in research, they their curiosity would definitely uh, like engulf them with such experiences from their past. So um, yeah, that curiosity definitely like is an important thing in research. And let's say like if any of your past experiences are not related to that, or if you feel that you do not have enough experience right now, let's say you're like in your first year or just started college, I feel the best way to get into this is by connecting people around you, which I mentioned before, who are like currently working in those fields. Your peer group, LinkedIn, I would say is like the best resource. Ask people like what catches their interest in that field, why are they still in that field, or what why did they first got into that field, and what are they doing over there. I think that is a really important point because that helped me a lot. After that, you can look for the best ways to get experiences in those fields. You can ask those people like what was their first experience. Since we are just focusing on research right now, what were their first research experiences? How did they get into research first? Personally, to get a research experience, look over professors from your institution. Like first of all, do that, and then who are teaching or conducting, I mean, those professors who are teaching or conducting research in similar areas like to which you want to focus on, and talk about why you are interested in that professor's research works. Because once you like mention that, because that's exactly what I did over here. Once you do that, sometimes professors, they are interested in asking a student to join their research lab and working with them, because this is the best way to get research experience at your college. And once you have that on your resume or your CV, you can begin approaching professors in different institutions in India or even abroad as per your interests. All of this is just going to boost your application, your profile, because research requires a lot of dedication, a lot of patience. And I mean, the main reason why I'm focusing on research experiences, specifically curiosity driven research, is because research is important, like, period. It has always been important, especially if you're into it. That is like, if you're curious about a particular research area, you can literally contribute towards changing the world for the better. Obviously, I will again elaborate on this major idea of research, of curiosity-driven research, by taking an example from a story from the late 19th century. I mean, since this is College of Engineering, I believe that most of you guys would have heard this story, but uh, here it goes. So during that time, during the late 19th century, scientists were trying to solve a mystery, and they found that if they had a vacuum tube and a lot of high voltage across that vacuum tube, something strange would happen. That vacuum tube, that glass, would glow with a ray through it. They call that cathode rays. But the question was, what were they made of, these cathode rays? So in England, the 19th century physicist J.J. Thomson conducted experiments using magnets and electricity on that vacuum tube. And he came to an incredible revelation. These rays were made of negatively charged particles, around 2,000 times lighter than the hydrogen atom, the smallest thing they knew at that time, which was like really intriguing and interesting. So Thomson had discovered the first subatomic particle, which we now call electrons. And now, at that time, it seemed to be completely impractical discovery. I mean, Thomson didn't think there were any applications of electrons. Obviously, at that time, electrons made no sense to that society. And around Thomson's lab in Cambridge, he used to, propose a toast and be like, "To the electron, may it never be used to anybody. May it never be of use to anybody." Anyways, he was strongly in favor of doing research out of sheer curiosity and his interests, to arrive at a deeper understanding of the world. And he found, and like what he found did like a complete revolution in science. um, but the interesting part is that it not only made a revolution in science, there was a second unexpected revolution in technology. In many ways, like, our modern society was actually built on this discovery by J.J. Thomson. I mean, these cathode ray tubes were the start of electronics. And a fun fact is that probably many of us, or our parents for sure, had one of these tubes, these vacuum tubes, in the cathode ray tube televisions in your living rooms. That was just a fun fact which I thought that would interest you guys. But I mean, how impoverished our lives would our lives be if the only invention that had come from J.J. Thomson's discovery of electron was just a television. I mean, thankfully, this cathode ray tube was just a start, because something else happens when these electrons in the vacuum tube hit a piece of metal inside the tube. I don't want to get too technical about it, but okay. So as the electrons screech to a halt inside the vacuum tube when they hit the metal, their energy gets thrown out, like in a form of a really high energy light, which we call X-rays now. And this was definitely, yeah, of course, the discovery of X-rays. And within 15 years of discovering the electron, these X-rays were used to make images inside the human body and help soldiers' lives being saved by surgeons who could then find bullets inside their bodies. Anyways, the point is that there's no way we could have come up with that technology by asking scientists to build better surgical probes. Of course, research, curiosity driven research was needed at that time. And yeah, only research done out of sheer curiosity with no application in mind could have given us the discovery of electron and the X-rays. And I mean, that's why I want to encourage you all to invest your time and energy in people that do curiosity driven research. It was Jonathan Swift, who's the author of Gulliver's Travels, Jonathan Swift, who once said that vision is the art of seeing the invisible. And I think that's one of the beautiful quotes I have written down. And over a century ago, J.J. Thomson did just that when he pulled when he pulled back a whale on the subatomic world. And that's the main reason why curiosity-driven research is it's really important for the society and of course for you as well. And now we need to invest in curiosity driven research because we have so many challenges that we face, and we need patience, dedication, motivation, and most importantly curiosity to tackle those challenges. Because history tells us that if we remain curious and open minded about the outcomes of research, the more world changing our discoveries will be. So that would conclude my talk for tonight. For yeah, tonight in India, and this morning in US. So thank you for coming to my TED talk. I'm just kidding. Anyways, let me know if you guys have any questions.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. That was an amazing session. If anyone have any queries, you can just unmute yourself and ask, or you can use the chat box.
All right, I guess I see a question in the chat. What go as a student into the US? So I'll divide it into two parts. So there's the first part is getting into US as an undergraduate, which is for your bachelor's, and the second is for your master's. The process is a little different for I mean, honestly, for bachelor's it's a little harder because you don't have that much experience, plus you don't have uh, a strong application. Usually you don't really have that strong application because you don't know what you're focused on. So you're sort of like in a diverse environment when you apply for your bachelor's. Since you guys are already doing your bachelor's, talking about masters, is good thing is now most of the top universities in US and even like mediocre universities, they have removed the concept, the idea of taking the GRE testing. So technically no testing is required to get into US now, and all you need is like a strong experiences and good recommendation letters, and just knowing like what you want to focus on in the future, and how can you make an impact which you feel that other students won't be able to. That's, I think, knowing the answer to that is the most important point if you want to get into US, because over here they focus on that part a lot, if you're like clear, if your mindset is clear or not. Other than that, they're like, just if you go to any university's application process, you would have a few essays to write about, which is again 2 to 3 essays, like why are you interested in a particular field, what drives you, what motivates you, stuff like that. So you write like 1,000 words, and they review it. They literally read all your essays and see if you are a perfect candidate for the university or not. And then you have to submit some strong recommendation letters, probably around 2 or 3. You can submit more, but 3 I would say is maximum. So your recommendation letters also matter a lot. Other than that, I think that's all. Your personal essays and your recommendation letters are the most important thing, and of course your application, like your profile, what all stuff you have done in the area of your interest. All right, so I hope I answered that question, Akina. Um, let me let me read the other question. So how is your internship going on now during the pandemic? Um, so I was in person at MIT for the summer, which was from beginning of June to the almost to the end of August. So I would say it was around 2.5 months. It went well. I did most of the hands-on part and the hardware part over there, and the 3D printing involved in my research. Now we were like almost done with that research towards the middle of August. So we have started writing paper now, and we just submitted it for IEEE and also for ACM, Human Computer Factors Conference, which is in Los Angeles, I think next year. Yeah, so we have submitted our paper for like one of the two big conferences over here. So now it's like when I came back to Chicago, because I had my classes over here, I can't really be in like at MIT for the research. So I was just doing everything virtually. So if there was a software part needed, I can just, do the coding part and push that code either on Dropbox or GitHub for them to, take it and use it. And otherwise it was now it's just about writing the final research paper. So yeah, even during pandemic, fortunately, it's all going well. All right, let's see a third question. Are there any mandatory technical skills we must develop to do tech research? Um, any mandatory skills? See, I'm not sure how focused my answer would be, because I did all my research in US with like professors from US, and I think it's somewhere along the same lines. There is no specific technical skills. Obviously, if you're a computer science major, or even if you're not, some coding skills would definitely help you. Like it's not about knowing a lot of you know different programs. It's about focusing on one and knowing a lot about it. Usually it's Python these days, but knowing about C++ or Java, or MATLAB, that won't harm you either. One of the really important skill which I would suggest, and I just like write it down over here, is knowing the software LaTeX. LaTeX is a typesetting software which is used to write research papers. And if you write, let's say even your resume or any research paper, if it is written in LaTeX and you submit it somewhere, it has a better chance of getting accepted for the conference or for getting published, because it's just like it makes your paper look nice. But I mean, but LaTeX is really important. First of all, it was developed by um, developed in US by top people from MIT and Harvard. So I would suggest that knowing LaTeX would be really important. Some coding skills, again, are also really important. Other than that, it's all about making good connections. Just talk to people around you, and talk to professors mainly. Like ask them why are they teaching, what is like, what drives them. Uh, okay, I guess, let's see another question. Okay, I think someone sent me a direct message. I can't read their full name, but what I'll do is I'll just drop my email over here, and you guys can send me any questions if you guys have. Just give me one question. I guess someone has raised a hand. Yeah, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and ask the question. All right, so I just sent my email address. And you guys can send me an email over there and ask me any questions if you guys have. Uh, yeah, I think you have your hand raised, Dilna. You can ask a question if you have any question, or I'm not sure why you have your hand raised. Anyways, do you guys have any other questions? Anyone? How is life in US? It's it's good. Not gonna lie, it is good. It is very different. People are very open-minded and accepting over here. They accept you for who you are, which I think is the best thing. They don't really, I doubt if anybody judges anyone over here, but I'm not saying that that happens a lot in India, but it's more, you'll feel calm and composed over here. That's what I feel personally. But yeah, I mean, there's that thing of having homesickness that, I mean, I'm really attached to my parents, to my family back in India. But that's, I think, the only con, I would say, because everything just goes towards the pros of being in US, because people over here are amazing. I mean, the way they interact with you, the way they just show their interest in your work, even professors or like your friends group, that's thing that matters a lot in your in you, you know, reaching success. I hope I was able to answer that question. That's a more open-ended question. That's the thing. Yeah. Also, like, if any one of you all like wants to apply to US for their masters, you can definitely hit me up at my email, and I will be glad to I can also share my LinkedIn link, because I'm usually active on LinkedIn a lot. So you can message me on LinkedIn as well, connect with me over there. And I guess I can try to help you all with your master's application, or like reviewing your application essays, or just looking at your resume or CV, and stuff like that. So I just dropped my LinkedIn link over here, and you all can connect with me over there. Any
Thank you,
other questions?
sir. Thank you so much, sir. It's my pleasure to take over from here.
Oh, okay,
From
yeah, but I just have one thing. Please don't call me sir. I'm
okay,
just, I don't know, 21 years old. I feel so old already because of that. So
but
it's okay.
you really deserve all this for your efforts, sir. Sorry. Okay, Mr. Akshat.
Oh yeah, thank you
Yeah.
so much.
And it's my pleasure to thank you, and we are very honored to have you here. Besides this busy schedule, you found time for us. You shared some valuable and insightful information, and I'm sure everyone in this call has been benefited by that as being a student, and obviously hoping to someday doing some kind of programs like this abroad somewhere. Thank you so much, Mr. Akshat, for your time. And now, as we have all we have is this online setup, it's time for a groupie. How about everybody turning on your cameras? We will have a group screenshot in this happy moment.
Sure. Oh, nice. It's nice to see these many faces.
It's very often do we get like to see faces in this scenario
Yeah,
lately.
that's facts.
Saurabh, could you take a screenshot of us and tell me when it's done?
It is not.
Thank you, Saurabh. And yeah, I do know that you have a class coming. So have a great day ahead, sir. Happy day. Sorry, Mr. Akshit. Have
Okay,
a happy day.
that's all right.
Okay. And to many more heights. So this is we have a hand-drawn token of gratitude for you. This is
Damn.
by
That's
our
nice.
volunteers. This is pure love for you, sir. Like for all the effort you have been doing and to many more heights and success. This
Oh, okay.
is gratitude from our side for joining us in SPAAM. And
Mhm.
we surely believe that we can maintain this connection and our students can connect with you for a great help.
Sure.
Your mail ID and your LinkedIn. And I'm sure that all the students will have a benefit out of this.
Oh yeah, I definitely believe that. And this sketch
So
looks really nice. Thank you so much for inviting me in for all this.
we are happy to have you as well, Mr. Rakshit. So it's time to wrap up, I think. Sri Ranjani, how about
Wait, are you
Yeah.
asking me a question? I mean,
No, my mic was on mute. Sorry.
okay.
Yeah, thank you once again. Thank you so much, sir. That was an amazing session. Was really helpful, and we could learn that there's a vast range of opportunities ahead of us, which is just something far apart from our immediate vicinity. And also, we are glad to know both you more in person. So we are very glad, and I would like to thank you again on the behalf of Team SPAM 21 and IEEE MACE SB for the wonderful session and your valuable time. Thank you, sir. Sorry, Mr. Akshat Kumar. And I would also like to thank each one of you who is kindly listened to the session. Hope you have made the most out of this opportunity. And yeah, that was the wrap for today with hashtag spam like never. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
stay tuned with